Welcome back. Daunting news coming out of the World Health Organization about cancer. It warns that cancer is rapidly increasing worldwide, and by the year 2025, we'll have 20 million more cases to deal with every year. Back in 2012, experts warned that cancer was growing at a rate of 14 million new cases per year. Fast forward to 2014, and the problem has worsened.
First of all, that we're seeing a very rapid increase in the numbers of cancers worldwide, but particularly in the low and middle income countries. So this shows us that cancer is truly a global problem, and that we're not going to be able to address this problem by simply improving the treatment of the disease.
Studies show the bulk of the world's cancer cases come from more developed, high-income countries where people are more prone to being obese, smoking tobacco, and drinking alcohol. As for lower and middle-income countries, they bear the majority of cancers related to infections.
These particularly involve cervical cancer in women, which is caused by the human papillomavirus, liver cancer, which is caused by hepatitis A and hepatitis B viruses in large part, and stomach cancer, which is caused by bacterial infection.
More than 60% of the world's total cancer cases occur in Africa, Asia, and Central and South America. One of the best explanations as to why cancer plagues our planet more now than ever is that people are living longer and are less active.
The main cause of cancer rise is the fact that population is aging, because cancer is a disease of the aged person. With our obesity, bad food, smoking is really a very heavy factor. They ride cars, so they don't move anymore, they don't exercise.
The new statistics will help cancer experts with finding better ways to prevent the disease and detect it early. In the end, the best way to avoid cancer is to heed that age-old warning, eat healthy, and avoid smoking and drinking alcohol.
The Secretary for Education met with kindergarten representatives today to discuss how to make life easier for schools, parents, and kids in the new student registration process. Stein So reports kindergarten subsidy vouchers will be used to limit each student's registration to one school only.
The number of kids entering kindergarten is expected to surge in the 2015 to 2016 school year. And after the queues and chaos associated with kindergarten registration from the past school year, the government is proposing to add conditions to the kindergarten subsidy scheme as a means to stop parents from registering at multiple schools. Today, the Secretary for Education met with kindergarten representatives to discuss details of the proposed certificate of eligibility for the pre-primary education voucher scheme. The idea is to give one voucher to each eligible kid in the coming November. At the same time, kindergarten interviews will be held. Results will be announced in December, and even if their child is accepted by more than one kindergarten, parents can only register at one school with a voucher in the following month. Although chaos was reported in the past at schools near the border areas as they were swamped with cross-border student registrations, Eddie Ng said it's best to extend the arrangement across Hong Kong.
After doing a lot of consultations, also the expressed views from different districts as well as parents, we believe the best way to manage the whole thing is a territory-wide arrangement. That's the reason for extending that. And we believe the voucher scheme would be the best way to manage it.
About 80% of the local kindergartens are currently covered by the voucher scheme, but Ng said the remaining privately run kindergartens won't be forced to join it. The Education Bureau is also looking into the possibility of standardizing kindergarten application forms and giving them out by the Bureau rather than by individual schools. It's hoped that this will lessen the administrative workload of kindergartens and the stress on parents and young kids who have to run around getting the forms. Diane To, TVB News.
4 men who were found guilty yesterday of attacking the nephew of the late tycoon Nina Wang were sent to jail today. 3 of them will serve 2 years behind bars, while the other was sentenced to 18 months. Joelle De Silva reports.
In handing down the sentence, Judge David Dufton once again rejected Defendant 1's mitigation claim that he had mistaken the victim for someone else. He maintained the attacker could clearly see the victim's face before the incident. He noted that although the umbrella used by Defendant 1 was not a lethal weapon and that no serious or permanent injury was caused, it damaged the victim's teeth, causing him great pain. The 4 defendants, asylum seekers of South Asian origin, were sentenced to prison terms of between 18 months and 2 years. In handing down prison sentences to all of the defendants, the judge noted that even though 2 of them did not physically assault the victim, they were equally guilty because they waited in the car park and encouraged the aggression. In the end, Defendant 1, who used an umbrella to attack Kung Ho, saw his sentence reduced from 2 years to 18 months because he was the only one who pleaded guilty to the wounding with intent charge. The remaining 3 pleaded not guilty and were sentenced to 2 years in prison. The attack happened last June at the Nina Tower car park in Chuen Wan. Earlier, the court heard how the 4 defendants waited there for the arrival of the late Taikun's nephew and assaulted him as he entered the lift lobby. Out of the 4 defendants, 3 had a criminal record. Joan De Silva, TVB News.
All right, Chris, what do you have for us today?
Well, we've got a departure in cricket. In fact, English cricket selectors have effectively ended the international career of Kevin Pietersen after not including him in the World 2020 squad. The South African-born batsman was one of the most prolific scorers for England during his 9 years. But his career was also controversial at times, with reports of clashes with other players and coaches. Pietersen's exit caps a winter of discontent for England, to have seen team director Andy Flower resign, spinner Graham Swan retire, and key batsman Jonathan Trott depart with a stress-related illness. In football, Fulham's season went from bad to worse last night after they were dumped out of the FA Cup by a team 2 tiers below them. Tony Sabine has details.
Fulham were looking to salvage their season in their FA Cup replay against League One side Sheffield United. The home team were stunned in the depths of extra time when Sean Miller headed home the winner for Sheffield. The 1-0 defeat heaps extra misery on Fulham, who are struggling at the bottom of the Premiership. In Italian Cup action, substitute Luis Muriel scored the winner with 8 minutes left to give Udinese a 2-1 win over Fiorentina in the first leg of their Coppa Italia tie. The 2 sides will meet again next Tuesday for the right to face either Napoli or Roma in the Cup. And Swansea have parted ways with Michael Laudrup, who was sacked after 20 months with the Welsh club. Swansea said veteran defender Gary Monk will replace Laudrup alongside current first-team coach Alan Curtis for the foreseeable future. Laudrup guided Swansea to the League Cup during his time in charge. Tony Sabine, TVB News.
In the NBA, the Charlotte Bobcats celebrated the return of Kemba Walker, who helped his team beat the Golden State Warriors. Walker finished with 7 points, 7 assists and 6 rebounds after missing the last 7 games with a sprained left ankle. Al Jefferson had 30 points and 13 rebounds. Gerald Henderson added 17 points and 8 rebounds for Charlotte. Not even Golden State's Australian star Andrew Bogut could prevent defeat. The Bobcats closed out the game 91-75 to complete a season sweep against the Warriors.
And runners are gearing up for the annual Hong Kong Marathon, which is less than 2 weeks away. A survey by the Baptist University showed many participants in the past lacked sufficient training. That's prompted calls by a sports expert for runners this year to avoid just that.
According to the statistics from the International Marathon Association as well as the sports science research, a full marathon runner, and he or she may suffer from the severe muscle cramps or other fatigue injury at around the 30 to 35 kilometers during the race. And the major reason is that they suffer from dehydration and lacking of electrolytes and perhaps maybe insufficient training. Those are the major factors that causing that those marathon runners, he or she cannot complete the full marathon.
And that's our news.
Good night.
Good evening. It was cool this morning and there were sunny periods in the afternoon. And as tonight's situation chart shows, a ridge of high pressure over the southeastern part of China is bringing the fresh northeast monsoon to the coastal areas of Guangdong. Today's temperatures ranged from 15.9 to 19 degrees, and the relative humidity was between 74 and 85%. Moderate easterly winds. The current temperature is now 17 degrees Celsius, with the relative humidity standing at 84%. So Freddie, how's the weather tomorrow?
Oh. Ah.
It will be mainly cloudy tonight. There will be sunny periods tomorrow. Temperatures will range between 17 and 21 degrees. It will be misty in the next couple of days. Tomorrow's air quality health index is forecast at low to moderate. The maximum UV index forecast for tomorrow will be about 7. And here's the latest global weather update. Showers in Shanghai, Taipei, and Xiamen. Cloudy in Guangzhou, showers in Macau, cloudy in Chengdu. Cloudy in Beijing, Seoul, and Tokyo. Bright in Bangkok, sunny in Ho Chi Minh City, rain in Manila. Bright in Kuala Lumpur and Singapore. Bright in Karachi, sunny in Mumbai. Bright in Cairo. Showers in Brisbane, cloudy in Sydney, sunny in Melbourne. Snow in Toronto. Sunny in Vancouver and Los Angeles. Showers in London, Paris, and Amsterdam. And that's the weather. Have a lovely evening.